All right.
Well, hold on.
All right. Buckle up. Buckle up. You
We didn't even pick a fucking topic.
No. That's our new bit. Is all right.
No topic.
All right. Well, this is your take is excrement.
Wait. No.
No. We're going straight in. This is all in.
I was doing parts.
This is all in. So
I was fucking it up though. Okay, it's fine. All right, fine.
All right.
Go ahead. Whatever you want.
No, if you want to restart, we can.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Hello, this is Your Take is Excrement, a show where we don't have a topic going into it because we're in our off season.
That's right.
I'm Neo, or at Angstrom on Twitter. I'm joined by May Leets at Nick Spheres on Twitter.
That's right. It's me.
You can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/excrement. Before we really get into it, I'd like to give a big old thank you and shout out to our sponsors. We have Machine Age Productions. If you want to escape all of the drama and discourse of mainstream RPGs, why not go play an indie RPG like #iHunt? It's fun. It's great. You get to hang out with your friends. There's just a ton of content and designs for it. You get to use an app. Then you go and you kill a werewolf. Who doesn't want to put a stake through a werewolf?
It's good shit.
Or I guess silver bullets. What kills a werewolf?
I actually don't know. I've never had to kill a werewolf personally.
You see that this is why you need #iHunt, because you can learn how to kill a werewolf.
This is why I need #iHunt.
We'd also like to thank Ambient Dream Studios. Get some art for your walls. Get some art for your body. No. Go check them out. They're on Etsy. No one likes blank walls. It's
garbage.
A bummer. It's garbo.
I've seen those pictures like a million times this week that are like, men really be living like this? You know what I mean? And then it's just the inside of a church. You know what I mean?
No, my favorite is it's like a lawn chair. And then just a TV on the floor.
Oh yeah,
they're like, and it's just like an empty room. Don't be like that.
Don't be like that guy.
Don't be like that. Go to Ambient Dream Studio, Etsy. Yeah. Links in the description for both of our sponsors.
Yeah, and I before we continue, I'm assuming this is hitting Sunday. It's like tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow morning.
Well, I'm assuming it hits Sunday. If it hits Sunday, then hello. I have great news. I have a show tonight in Colorado Springs at the Triple Nickel. That's right. You should come out and say, hey.
The Tripnik?
Come see me play some music. If my voice sounds a little shitty, it's because I have been screaming into a microphone for a week rehearsing for this bullshit. I'm also going on a mini tour. We're going to Chicago. I'm going to be in Chicago on the 10th of this month. And then I'm coming back to Denver and the Springs. I'm going to play at Vultures on I want to say the 26th. So a bunch of shit going on over here. And then October, I am absolutely filled with shows. I have one more that I know is like absolutely confirmed. And that is Denver Front Range Noise Festival. I am going to be fucking playing the night before Halloween.
Oh,
which is great because my new album, My Dead Neopets, drops on the 31st. So you can be there when it happens. Wouldn't that be fucking dope? Tickets are on sale now for that, actually.
I'm also going to be there.
Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not performing, just watching May.
Yeah, hi. So yeah, come out. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Did you know? I ever told you when I was a kid, we had the sandbox behind our little. This was before I went to boarding school, so this was when we were all homeschooled in the same building.
Yeah,
we had the sandbox, and we all had Neopets. And for forever, our go-to recess entertainment of choice was we built little sand houses for our Neopets and had a Neopet society in the sandbox outside of our school. Fun little fact.
All right.
No, but the topic of this episode, I was thinking on this, and I think the most interesting thing we could talk about is the ramifications of Spanish silver mining to the global economy of the 16th century.
Oh yeah,
May, do you have any thoughts on that?
I talk about porn on the internet, and that's my job. Like, I talk about girls getting cut up on the internet, and that's what they pay me the big bucks for.
That's fair.
It has literal I actually have a lot of political opinions. That's a very specific question is the problem. But if you were talking about if we were talking about mining as a concept, I grew up around fracking in Texas, and let me tell you what, that damaged the shit out of many, many people.
Listen,
I don't know if that's a great thing to do.
What do you mean? Punching the earth until it coughs up
until
oil
it comes
is a good
oil.
thing.
Oh my god.
No, I was actually thinking we should just do a catch-all. Just let's talk about fucking movies. Not one movie in particular. Just in general, just
movies.
Movies
okay. Well, so here's my hot take. I think cinema as an art form is it gives the illusion of ultimate freedom because it is the ultimate mixed media project in that it is a visual art, a photography. It is a mixed, or it is an audio thing. It is going through linear time. It has the ability to tell a story or not tell a story. It has the ability to be poetic. It has the ability, so I think that it gives the impression that it is the greatest art form because it is unlimited.
Right.
But I think, unfortunately, and this might, I don't know, upset some folks. I hope not. I think that film is actually secretly limited. I think that it comes across as if it is not limited, but is actually more limited than most other things. Music can follow a billion structures, but if you've ever watched a noise musician just go to fucking town and actually kill, and people love it,
right?
It's wow, there really truly are no rules, right? But film, just on the most basic level, you have to have some kind of knowledge of something, and there's not really a whole lot of I say this very frequently that originality almost always exists external to intentionality. It's hard to do something original with intent, but it's easy to accidentally do something original. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I think, and I think that's part of why, for me at least, a lot of very early films are so interesting.
Yeah,
is because they're all the rules and modes of operation they're coming out of is from plays and shit.
Yeah.
A medium that I worked in the theater department high school and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not I haven't really done or experienced a lot of high-end playcraft.
Yeah.
And so it's the rules just went directly from playcraft to film sets. And I think part of the reason I find them so interesting is that direct inspiration feels like originality when just because I haven't seen Broadway shit a lot.
Right, exactly.
Right, I notable not Hamilton enjoyer.
Well, to mention that the dichotomy between theater and so somebody, I had a theater teacher tell me the thing about theater is here the biggest difference, to be honest, between theater and film. Every time you are watching an act of theater, you are watching something generally live because, for whatever reason, a lot of theater purists think that, televised theater is not the same. The idea is, literally watching people interact in this very specific way right in front of you for real right now. The thing is, if that is the ramification of theater, that it has to happen live on stage in front of you, then that means every time you're seeing somebody do theater, this is them practicing. Because the only way to truly get a full impression of a performance is if that person is basically taking whatever rehearsed version of wherever they're at and showing that to people with the mindset of improving it for future performances.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, every act of theater is a rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the reason a lot of theater is bad is because for many people, they've only been able to really rehearse 2-3 times. They don't have a shitload of experience. And so, like, experiencing it is kind of like a bee sting, where they're as terrified of you as you are of them.
Yeah.
The theater folks, and I know this because I've done theater in my life. The theater folks are generally terrified of revealing this interpretation, this current version of their interpretation of Shakespeare or some bullshit.
Well, I will say, like, the live professional, like, not high school level theater I have seen have been, like, Shakespeare's in the Park. And I will say, I have, like, thoroughly enjoyed every rendition of that I've seen.
I fucking love Shakespeare, but that's a May thing. Cindy is here.
Cindy is here. Cindy, do you have any opinions on this?
She's sniffing the microphone. I don't think she's gonna say anything.
No,
she doesn't usually. She doesn't usually do microphones.
No, but if we put it outside the window, she would just belligerently scream at it.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway.
But film. This is something that a lot of people are really against, but film is trying to take the concept of production on a film level and apply this. It's an active rehearsal every time they do it approach to making literal tangible film.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, early filmmakers and the, like, auteur theory and shit like that was all about, like, trying to look at film in the same way that we look at, like, you know, an artistic painting, where it's like somebody or like a self-portrait, right? They're painting a version of themselves that they want to see, so you can psychoanalyze the work based on the author of the work. But when we look at film now, you know, a lot of people talk about remakes and sequels and reboots and shit like that being shitty. But in a lot of ways, they are a continuation of a lot of theatrical concepts. It's just, we're just doing this production again. We're going to do a production of this with this person. This person's got a spicy take on this character. They're going to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the way that people are kind of looking at it. And I think that's a fairly charitable way of looking at the future of film.
Mm-hmm.
Even if, like, you know, does this lend itself to the dissemination of original ideas? Like, are we not going to be getting original ideas? I mean, on a studio level, fuck no. But have we? You know, when you look back at the entire body of film, how many times have we just been repeating ourselves when we've been saying something sensibly different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's why, I know he's a bit of a meme, but I really like Neil Blomkamp or whatever his South African name is. It's because I do feel like he genuinely approaches film from his own very distinct, like, artistic license. And while, like, I think, you know, his stuff isn't as, like, good as a lot of things, and like a lot of the stuff he's doing nowadays is a bit,
he's
like,
accepted
weird.
his thing that he's trying to show.
Yeah,
he's trying to show it in a.
Yeah, I like that he just kind of, like, makes movies for himself, right? Like, it's like, I can't believe any studio is like, you want to make a movie about Joburg, primarily. About racism in Joburg. Okay. Oh, you want to make a movie about AI in Joburg? Oh, you want to make a movie about wealth inequality in Joburg? Okay. Right.
All right.
Like, he just wants to make movies about how Johannesburg like influenced him in his life and growing up and shit. And I love that for him, right?
Well, so have you seen the new Channel 5 video?
Which one is
for
it?
context, I watch a lot of Channel 5 because cultural anthropology is my big thing. Like, I'm constant. I even, this is why I watch a lot of gore videos.
Right.
Like, to try and understand life and people. because I'm like a weird insect. I tell people this a lot. I'm like a weird praying mantis person who like looks at life, and I'm like, ooh, what are the humans doing? Like, I don't know why I'm like this, but yeah. So Channel 5 is just stimulating for me on that level. So, the new Channel 5 video is about in Chicago. I think it's called drill music. It's basically just like hardcore rap. It's like gangster rap, but the gangster rap is like very targeted. It's like it literally intentionally being like, I have a gun. Here it is on the camera, and here's the guy I'm literally going to kill and shoot with this gun. And then like a week after the single drops, everybody's like, fuck, this single goes so hard, that dude's dead. Like,
right,
for real. And like that's amazing. I love that personally. But my point with this is that accidental fame in the midst of chaos is hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to me. And Neil Blomkamp, I think, accidentally ends up in that kind of weird category
right.
where he's like, yeah, I want to make movies about Joburg, and there'll be fucking, I'll use aliens as a metaphor for the thing.
For racism.
Yeah, and cool beans, let's go. And then like everybody goes, yo, is that really what the world's like?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, cool.
Right.
That's awesome. And then suddenly this guy's able to make pretty much whatever he wants, and he's like, well, let's just put some more Joburg in there.
Yeah,
let's just keep
right?
telling the people what it's like out here.
Joburg's an unhinged city. I love and hate Johannesburg.
Yeah.
But it's like imagine like a suburban neighborhood.
Right.
But every house had 10-foot walls with razor wire on top.
Right.
Like it's crazy.
Well, and like D'Antwoord, right? They're like they're like nightmare people that live in Joburg.
Nightmare,
right? Or not necessarily
rapists.
Joburg, but they live in Africa.
I think they're pretty well. No,
they're not great people.
They're South African.
They're fucking awful.
Listen, I'm gonna come after the Boers, the Afrikaners, real quick.
Oh,
I think that like there's no better sum of the fucked up the fucked up cultural aspects of the Boer Afrikaners. I can't remember what the right term is, but like it's like if they sucked out all of the shit of that culture and like consolidated it into two shitty people. It's like the Donald Trump of like South African culture, right? Like you just take the worst aspects of like everything and you put it into a public figure, and there you go. I
always felt when I saw them that I was like, this is like this is kind of like Juggalo shit,
right?
You know what I mean? Where it's just like, what if you took the like weirdo kind of school shooter guy kid and gave him his own rap project and told him he was a killer clown? Then it's like suddenly it's like, and it's exactly that, right? So that's that. Well, it's the same with D'Antwoord, but at the same time, like D'Antwoord is very influenced by like experimental film and crazy weird shit like that. So when they came to the visual side of it, they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna fucking be shocking and crazy. But on a them level, they very much represent the place they came from.
Right.
Yeah. And I say the same thing about ICP. They came from Detroit.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, the like punk ass kid in Detroit that's like a white kid who's like getting bullied all the time, and he fucking is gonna totally kill a bunch of people.
Right.
He gets to have a band. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Well,
and like, and in a weird way, like I feel like you can't marginalize that idea in any way. Like I'm very forgiving to juggalos in any kind of context, generally because they're like impoverished people in the midst of probably crisis. Right.
And juggalos are great because they're like like I'm, at least from my perception, right?
Yeah.
They're like general anger at the world and societies because they view it as like unfair, but because they're viewing it from this place of like poverty,
right?
Which is understandable, right?
Exactly.
Like being upset at society that that puts you in poverty and kicks you while you're down in poverty.
And this is what I liked about Deontward for 5 seconds. And I think this is what everybody liked about them. Because they came across like they were talking about poverty too.
Right.
But then we learned
the problem,
they handled rich fame very badly.
Right. Well, even beyond that, there's this problem where like when a white kid from Illinois has this like white rage at poverty in society, they go join ICP, but the culture or not join, but like they go be a juggalo, right? Carnival.
Yeah. Yes.
But the like the white kid from Illinois, the rage is because of like societal and economic pressures.
Right.
I think there's still this big problem where like the source of a lot of white rage in South Africa is the fact that they ended the apartheid, and that's so like when that's just kind of like the root of the source. And I'm not saying that like Deontward or any South African alive right now is I'm not putting words in their mouth, right? Like unless somebody is a white supremacist there, I'm not saying that this is where they're coming from, but there is just this element of like cultural white angst.
We'll call it a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a culture of white angst.
Like against that. And it's like, you like go watch any documentary that deals with South Africa. Like I loved the Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia where he goes to like look at Quaaludes.
Right.
And he like just goes in the slums of like I think he went to the slums of Cape Town. So, but anyway, but like, I don't know, it's just it's one of my problems with the Artwood. I think like a lot of the anger they're tapping into comes from a pretty bad place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're spot on. I mean, generally, I feel there's a huge difference between like the inner city vibe in the United States versus like the ended an apartheid vibe of Africa.
It's I don't know if I've talked to you about this very much at all, but having grown up in Africa, there are two kinds of white Africans.
Yes.
And it's like they're the ones who are like really shitty about their inherited wealth and inherited status in that culture, and then there are the dudes that I would always hang out with when I could, who were like just unhinged, like hates the other group of like white people, like just kind of reckless jackasses. And there's no middle. I haven't seen any middle ground,
sliders,
right? Like you're either you're either posh drinking tea and like looking at anyone not white funny, even though you're in Kenya, or you've been like cutting roses for 12 hours and you're playing rugby with your friends in the middle of a buffalo herd. Like there's no middle ground.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it sounds like it's people that are like, I want to Americanize this, or not necessarily even Americanize. It's like I want to colonize this. I would like to continue
Kenya.
Colonizing this. Or people going, I would like to live the way that this place is intended to be lived.
Right.
And it's sort of like, it's literally that thing I was talking about before this, where it was like, take the bull by the horns, or you fucking bite the bullet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's like. That manifests culturally. That's great. I didn't grow up in Africa, admittedly, so I don't have the most context, but I have seen, enough documentary footage to have an impression of it. But I've also watched enough people die in Africa just from fucking bullshit cell phone videos that, like, I don't know. I hate that. It's about me. I like that. That's the root of my cultural anthropology knowledge. I know about the way people die in different countries, most primarily.
Well, I don't know. I've definitely experienced. I definitely experienced more death growing up in my childhood in Africa than I have in my adult life in the States. Yeah, but just because in the States, you never get like, oh yeah, your 8-year-old friend got cerebral malaria, went into a coma, and died.
Yeah, like rest in peace.
Yeah. Like, it's like, I remember one time my my dad and his coworker like co-ran this like radio station.
Yeah.
And they had this guy who was like directly under them, who's kind of like their cultural like helped culturally interpret from these two like super introverted engineers to their staff and their engineers.
Yeah.
But this guy like one day he was like, yeah, like he came into work and he was a bit off, and my dad was like, what's wrong? He's like, yeah, they found my brother in a field and they drained all of his blood for voodoo rituals.
Bummer.
And my dad's like, do you want to go home? Like, do you need to take time off? He's like,
no, I'm good.
no. He's like, I already mourned. I'm fine. And it's like, you know,
Okay.
it's just like, I don't know, this like crazy way of looking, or it's like, of like both looking at death, accepting death, and like, I don't know, being around it. It's just, I don't know. It definitely was like formative on childhood me.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's true. That's wild. But I don't know. Like I experienced quite a bit of death when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Like I had a lot of death in my life. Like my grandparents, it was bad. Like they had COPD, both of them. Really fucking bad. And so I did years of like bedside at hospitals like with them. Literally every day. And I remember this one time I hadn't like done homework that I was meant to do for school for weeks. Like I hadn't turned shit in. And everybody at school, like my teachers were like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And I had this one teacher who was like a math teacher, and she was just like awful. She just started yelling at me, just going off about how I was not, doing my work and applying myself. And I just started crying, like a lot. And then it was just crying. And then like a bunch of people were around me and they were just like, "What's the deal? Why are you crying?" And I was just like, I couldn't stop and I couldn't communicate what even was going on. And then like they had to bring in other teachers to try and talk to me. So they brought like 3 other teachers in. They were like, "Honey, can you please just talk to us about what's going on?" And I was like, I don't even know. Like, and that's literally like, that was the moment I realized that the stress and strain of literally being at the hospital, seeing my grandparents every single day, like watching them die for like 4 years, like did pretty serious psychological damage. Like that was the moment I noticed. And I was like a child. I was only like, like 12, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Right.
That sucks. I sure wish that had not have happened to me.
Right.
But also like, I don't know, like up until literally the moment my grandma died, she didn't think she was gonna die, like ever.
Right.
Like ever. And then like watching her be wrong, like in a moment, like literally watching her die.
Right.
When I was 12 or 13, I was like, "Ooh, she was wrong."
Right.
And that was like the ego shattering moment for my life. And I just have never really recovered from that.
Yeah.
It's not to say that I like, that's like a bad thing. I just bit the inside of my mouth really hard. It's not to say that that's like a bad thing. I actually think it's been fairly good for me because like most people I know have had fairly easy lives.
Right.
I would say, it's not, well, economically things have been a bitch for the last few years. So it's hard to say if anybody's having an easy life, but I would say their upbringings were fairly easy. I knew one other kid whose mom died of a fucking aneurysm.
Right.
One day randomly. And I knew that kid, and that kid was not doing great. And like that kid and me were very similar. But me and like everybody else, like nobody I knew had a shitload of tragedy in their life.
Right.
So like, it just it kind of isolated me when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to a place when I was older, it was just sort of like not shocking concept to me, where it was a shocking concept to most other Americans. And it was, I don't know, it was fucked up because like when 9/11 happened, like I watched it live. I know everybody did, but like I watched it live and I was a kid. You know, and then, you know, my grandparents like died in front of me, watched it, you know, I watched it happen. And then Iraq War, you know, TV news was always on, and the TV news, I don't know if you know this, but in the 2000s, the TV news was a little spicy. They showed some shit on
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Like you would see people die on the fucking news all the time.
Right.
So like I was pretty used to watching people die in war, like after a while, because it was just all like the news was always on. I was always interested in what was going on in the news, and that meant that I was always seeing people die in car bombs. And so it was just like, damn, dude.
Right.
All right. So like death as a concept has pretty much always been in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like most people had lives that were fairly devoid of it until lately. And I think the COVID weirdly shattered so many people's ideas that they were just gonna live forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. I think that's why. So this person I was dating, her parents were anti-vaxxers.
Mm-hmm.
And they refused to wear masks. They would get pissed off at people if they saw somebody wearing a mask. It was a fucking nightmare. But in at any time spending time with them, I was always like, they don't genuinely believe that COVID is not real. They say they believe it's not real, but
Right.
what they're actually saying is they don't want it to be real.
Right.
And
Well-
they don't want to wear a mask, right? Because they don't want to have to wear a mask.
Right. They don't. They want to live in this world of make believe, and it's like
where they live forever.
Right. Well, and it's like when I worked at the I worked as a dispatcher at a EMS company.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and a couple of the people who worked there would just like echo this anti-COVID rhetoric where it's like it's not real, it doesn't infect you, all that like straight from Fox News bullshit.
Yeah.
But every single fucking time, without fail, I would say, "Hey, the patient's COVID positive."
Yeah.
And they would go, "Fuck, shit, fuck, god damn it," and they would put on their fucking suit, right?
Yeah.
And it, like there wasn't even, and they wouldn't like they would complain that they needed to wear the suit, but they never complained that like they were never like, "Oh, I couldn't catch COVID from this patient," right? It was always
right.
"Oh shit, I have to wear this suit now."
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like you know, so it's like you can sit here and you can tell me, but the moment like you can tell me all this shit about how it's not real and shit, but the moment I tell you that the patient has COVID like symptoms, you gear up head to toe.
Yeah, you're in. Like, oh, your beliefs,
Right?
What's the phrase? It's when the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
when
so-
the rubber hits the road, though, we're
Right.
fucking off to the races on the whole COVID's very real. Let's not die from it.
Yeah. You know, well, and it's like these people, it's like despite their rhetoric, they've sat in the back of an ambulance watching someone like drowned in their lungs.
Right.
from
Well,
COVID.
and like people be like, that shit ain't serious, but like the fucking hospitals, like if you've listened to anybody talk about their experience like working in you have working in hospitals in the midst of that pandemic, like, okay, that job you took for the EMS place, that was like what, a year into the pandemic?
Yeah.
Year and a half-ish? You did that for 6 months maybe before you were like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, I can't do this anymore. And like that was just what you were doing. Like that had nothing to do with like as bad as it was. And
Right.
and like I agree. that some fucking things are so surreal that are happening on Earth that you genuinely are thinking to yourself, there's no fucking way that's actually happening. There's no way that's real. There's no way that's possible. But the fucking fact of the matter is, pandemic fucking happened and people drowned in their fucking lungs. Like, that is real. That happened.
Yeah.
And every single one of those people that died probably didn't think they were gonna fucking die. And it's not to say that they were all like bad people. I just mean that, like, most people don't think they're going to die until the moment that they do.
Right.
And then they go, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that sucks. There's that. And
Right.
then on top of that, but my generation of Americans grew up with like 9/11, the Iraq War, and if you watch TV, you know, you watch people die regularly on public TV.
Right.
And my parents didn't want to accept that this was real because it happened too fast. So my parents' generation was like, whoa. Slow down.
I would like
You're
to
saying-
speak. I would like to speak to COVID's manager.
Exactly.
It's too fast.
And then the generation before that said, fucking sounds like some bullshit to me. I don't think that germs are real. And then they're like, oh no, I'm dead. And then the youth were all like, yo, we watched people die in Iraq. This is real, dude. We're going to die here.
And
And,
the
it changed that our generation, it caused this like rift between the generations. Like
The
serious
generation
rift.
before the boomers went, oh shit, the influenza. But I bet I should wear a mask, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, I really don't want to die from this bullshit.
And we were talking about this before the podcast started, but do we really think that history is literally just the same group of monkey arguing with itself about whether or not it's a monkey, and
Right.
then it dies and then is respawned and is a monkey and is like, am I alive? What's happening? Is this real? What's going on? And we all have like such a worry that we're going to lose our life. But like, what is life? What is it? It's
Right.
weird. It's fucking weird. Like, we just spawn, right? And then we make friends, and our friends are usually the people that are the most like us.
right.
So we end up bouncing ideas off of our friends, which is literally just like bouncing ideas around in your mind. And then, like, if you got a best friend, you know, you'd be kind of weird if you never went into yourself in your own mind. Damn, what if my best friend here is not actually real, and I am just
I am
I'm just
and have always
perceiving.
been a figment of your imagination.
I fucking know, but my point is, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Where at some point you go, like, am I alone? In a weird way, and yes, the answer is yes, which is a
Right.
fucked up, weird way to look at it. But like, I know I'm getting really, I'm going.
All right.
But, like,
I'm-
do we need to
I'm
even
a-
add?
No, we
How
did
the
that
fuck we gonna-
start.
Oh,
I'm gonna pull
that's
this
right.
back from the brink,
Yeah.
May. What's your favorite post-COVID movie? Like, movie that you can directly feel the influence of COVID on the film.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. I actually no idea. I had this conversation. So, for context, I graduated from film school, and then I was still living in Texas for like a couple years. I did like a year in Fort Worth, and then I moved out to Denton. I was in Denton for a year or two. And I still had a friend that I went to school with named Matt. Hey, Matt, if you're around. He's great. He might do a music video for me. I love Matt. But
Oh, hell
anyway,
yeah.
so Matt. Matt would come around, and we would talk. And we frequently, because we were both film people, came from the film world, we would both frequently talk about how, like, you know, what is going to become of film now
Right.
that COVID has happened, because genuinely it's kind of a horror,
Right.
because the way we respond to things nowadays seems to be Fortnite dancing, fidget spinning, Or you know what I mean?
Well-
It feels like there's always this like weird kind of fad trend way that people look at things, and it makes things impossibly cringy to understand.
Well, and like, just since I've asked the question, like I had some answers in my head, and then I realized they were all made before COVID.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
you know, so I think like in terms of dealing with COVID, I think the show Chernobyl on HBO is like the perfect, like it's just the perfect like, oh, this giant fucking societal disaster happened, we have to deal with it.
Yeah,
Like show.
Yeah.
But remember when we watched the new Mortal Kombat?
yes.
And like they would be in these like fighting arenas, and then like all the audience would be 6 feet apart.
Yeah, I do remember that. I saw Thor: Love and Thunder. That's a post-COVID movie. I think I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. We were talking about Marvel movies, and we were talking about how like Marvel movies generally there's too much bullshit that is required to jump into a Marvel movie and enjoy it.
Right.
So like even if it was an enjoyable film, you have to have so much prior contextual knknowledge that jumping into it becomes impossible.
That's why I stopped watching, because like when Multiverse of Madness came out, it's like, wait, I have to watch how many straight to Disney Plus shows?
Fuck.
Oh hell no.
Well, so check this out. I did watch Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
I thought it was terrible for the first like 45 minutes. It got interesting, then it got good, and then I liked it.
Okay.
But then I saw Thor: Love and Thunder. I really thought that I don't know. I really thought I was gonna hate it, and which is weird because Taika Waititi directed it, and I like Taika.
Yeah,
everybody likes Taika.
I like New Zealanders just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I liked What We Do in the Shadows too. So
I've never met a New Zealander I don't like.
I actually feel the same way. You know, the only New Zealander I think I openly dislike is the Christchurch shooter. Like that guy can fucking.
I was listening to this podcast where it was an imam that flew from Australia. Like the moment he heard it happen, he booked a ticket and flew to Christchurch to help out.
Yeah,
and he helped like wash the dead and shit. And anyway, he was just talking about his experiences with that, and it was like just the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, next level shit. But yeah, anyway, Thor: Love and Thunder. I watched it and I liked it because it was a movie about how God is a failure and will let you down, and you should just kill him immediately. and the only thing that's worth doing is like loving your fellow human and being kind to the other people who are grieving. Because everybody thinks that their grief is like personal and no one understands. But everyone understands.
Right.
Like grief, and see, this is how we're tying this back into death. We were talking about movies, but now we're talking about death. It's just like everybody thinks that their grief is their own, but grief is universal. No one likes to experience death.
Well, and that's why I really hated the movie after Infinity War. Where it was Endgame.
Oh, where no one actually dies and everything is magic.
Well,
I know people die, but it's like so.
But beyond that, right? Like so,
Hulk plays Fortnite.
So beyond everything, just like hitting the giant reset button. Right. They're trying to deal with societal trauma, but they just like so. And so Thor's the most traumatized character in that. Like everyone else has been hurt and traumatized, but is in good spirits. And Thor has been broken as a man and has given up.
Yeah.
And instead of like dealing with that and dealing with Thor's brokenness, they just make fun of it the whole movie.
Yeah, they make fun of it the whole movie, and
it's like
they also use fatness to symbolize depression.
Right.
And that sucks
It's
dick.
really fucked up. Well, and it's really fucked up because in Thor Ragnarok, they did an excellent job of having Thor work through his grief. And even in Endgame, there's like the moment where he's like, yes, I'll do this. And then Rocket's like, if you do that, you'll die. He's like,
I don't give a fuck.
Unless I won't. And everyone's like, but you're going to die. And he's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like whatever.
Like it's
Who
like
cares?
it's like this has to get done. All right, just like stop trying to point out the consequences of this action and let me do it. Right.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just really frustrating that like they really took like I don't know. I do think Thor Ragnarok is the greatest Marvel movie.
I agree.
You know what? That it's a tie between that and Guardians 2. I do really like.
I like Guardians 2.
Yeah. But it was because they took like they really honestly and genuinely, or Taika honestly and genuinely dealt with Thor's trauma.
Yeah. Well, and like look, all right. Sorry,
All right.
I'm losing my mind. So my only real take on that is that I think that is the bar so fucking low that all they have to do is deal with like the actual emotions that are in the deck of playing cards that they're dealing right in front of me for me
Marvel,
to fucking think that it doesn't suck.
It is
for Marvel. No, you're right. And I agree. I think that Thor Ragnarok and Guardians 2 are good movies.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing I would say about them though. Is that I think they're good movies. I would argue they're good movies. Is it like life-changing shit?
No.
Fuck no. Fuck no. You know what I mean? And so, but the reason I'm saying the Love and Thunder thing is I had this conversation with Matt where we were talking about movies are gonna take a hit. They're gonna suck. They're gonna be this like fad-oriented Fortnite dancey bullshit crap about death for years. Like,
right.
That's what's going to happen. And we were mostly right. That's the shit part, is we were mostly right. Like, most of the post-COVID movies I've seen have been hunky-dory, funny, bouncy movies about death.
Right.
Which why are we clowns?
Well,
and so, Thor Love and Thunder is a movie about how God has abandoned you and you should abandon him back and fuck everything. And also life is fucked up and people die and that sucks. Loved ones die and that sucks. But there's no bullshit like hunky-dory attitude. They're like literally dealing with it.
Right.
They literally deal with it. And I again, just like Thor Ragnarok and just like Guardians 2, the thing I will say about it is that it was a good movie.
Right.
Okay? It was a good movie. The bar is that fucking low that is going to be. But if we're talking about a movie after COVID that I saw that I liked, I'm going to go with Thor Love and Thunder only because it was a good movie in the sense that people talked about grief. Go ahead. What?
Suicide Squad, the reboot.
It was all right.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
I don't know, but
it didn't change my life. It didn't blow my mind.
Listen,
it was a funny meta-textual, meta-narrative movie. I like the part where Harley Quinn kills that guy and he's like, I said I wouldn't avoid any red flags in the future. Bam! Like,
No.
I loved that. That was great.
No, okay, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because it does deal with like traumatized people getting over or like moving past the trauma and learning to re-engage with society or like re-engage with each other.
Yes.
That's what I did like about it. Like the Ratcatcher 2. The whole bit with her.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know about the black phone? Do you know about that at all? You hear about that? The black phone?
No.
Okay, it's a movie. It's good. So it's based on a Joe Hill book, which is Joe Hill is Stephen King's son.
Oh.
And so turns out Joe Hill has actually written quite a bit of material that is fairly solid and has been made into movies and people generally like.
Uh-huh.
The Black Phone has Ethan Hawke in it. And he's a murderer, serial killer, child rapist. Isn't that gnarly? Anyway, so taking that just ever so further, the fun bit of the Black Phone is that it's like a kid locked in a room calling other dead children on the phone to ask them how he should escape the child rapist. And everybody in the whole movie stands at least 6 feet apart, and everything looks like they were just like, well, didn't they talk on the phone?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And then they're gonna talk on the phone from a distance. It's kind of like a weird, like, if you squint, it's almost like Zoom Call the movie.
Right.
Like a Zoom Call the horror movie. It's like, damn, I'm stuck in this room. I can't leave. There's a threat outside, and the only thing I can do is I can call my friends on Zoom and ask them how to get out of the situation. And that's all I can do, just to cope, just to be there for each other, right? That was a fairly good COVID movie. That was a pretty good one.
I'm pretty proud of where we took this podcast, because literally, if you hadn't have gone into the thing, I just would have talked about how much I liked Ridley Scott.
What did Ridley... Oh, House of Gucci, dude. Was that prior to COVID? Or was that mid-COVID?
I think that was COVID.
I thought Adam Driver got COVID on the set of that. I wanted to say that happened.
I think, did he get it from Lady Gaga when they were just like, going for it?
That'd have been great. No. I don't understand why I have to release a press release about whether or not I have a penis.
The last duel's definitely COVID.
Yeah, that was okay.
I was Did mixed. You finish it?
No.
We've only watched 2/3 of it.
I love Ridley Scott, but when he misses hard for me. I don't know. That one just didn't. There was nothing appealing for me there.
Yeah. House of Gucci is post-COVID.
I loved that movie. That was one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a very good movie.
No shit.
Well,
I like that movie. Literally changed the way I was looking at so much shit, because I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I know that, okay, because there's this like problem with House of Gucci, well, with the way we look at the rich, because we look at them simultaneously as like heroes worth worshiping. We also look at them as victims, worth kind of like being
babied,
being coddled. We also view them as dumb. So we infantilize them, and we also all say the same thing. Let's just treat them like normal people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you tell their stories in a way that is just so matter of fact, where it's like, guy loves girl. Girl wants what the life that guy can provide.
Right.
So she fucks him real good. And his brother, or his cousin, is a fucking idiot. And his cousin would literally ruin everybody's lives. So it does benefit them both to try and get him out of the fucking picture.
Right.
And then once that happens, it's fucking fair game whatever happens after that, because everybody's going to try and reach for that crown.
Right.
So it's like, it's looking at them as like evil, hungry, starving though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, the temptation brought upon by literally just the name Gucci is responsible for bloodshed.
Right.
A lot of it.
Yeah. No, I was actually just going to talk about the Alien movies mostly.
Oh, what Alien movie?
Just
Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah.
Have you been watching that recently? What have you been watching recently? Anything?
No. I've been rewatching Adventure Bros.
Oh, that's fun.
But no, I've been meaning to watch stuff. I just the big work project that I was working on for my job ended this week, so I finally am gonna have actual free time going forward, which is very nice. So I haven't been watching shit. No, but no, I saw someone with a with the Nostromo captain's hat today, and I was like, that's a cool fucking hat.
That's a cool hat. You like Alien?
You like Alien? No,
yeah.
And also, that got me thinking about Ridley Scott and shit. I legitimately didn't have anything profound to talk about it. I was just gonna be like, isn't it cool when the alien is crawling through the air ducts and shit, and it drops out and
I have something profound. I kind of think that James Cameron is a hack, and he sucks.
Yeah.
I like the Terminator.
I haven't seen the Terminator.
I actually love Terminator.
I haven't seen the Terminator. I haven't seen the Terminator 2. Haven't even seen Terminator 3.
I don't care about Terminator 2. I don't know. I'm just being spicy.
Should we watch the Terminator? Audience, should I watch the Terminator?
We should watch it. We didn't even watch Demon House from the last episode. What's wrong with us? But no, we should watch Terminator. The first Terminator is really good. So just think about this, right? James Cameron makes a movie about how he has a nightmare that he is being chased by a robot from the future with guns. And he's like, shit, that sounds fucking terrifying. Like, wouldn't it be just terrifying to learn in any given moment that you are actually in 20 years going to fuck the whole world up? So they've sent a robot back in time to kill you. Like, that's amazing. I think that's a great idea. I don't care about the sequel. I do really like the first movie. The Abyss is whatever. James Cameron. Avatar is crap. Sorry.
I really want to rewatch this movie. I want to rewatch Avatar.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just rewatch it on my laptop. I want to get some good fucking speakers, a big fucking TV, and I want to rewatch it in the way James Cameron wanted me to watch it.
With your dick in your hand.
So with my dick in my hand. So I can stand before James Cameron. And I realize now that the physical comedy of me getting up is failing me. But I want to stand and look James Cameron in the fucking eye with my dick in my hand. And I want to tell him that I watched Avatar the way you intended. And in the year of our Lord, 2022, it is bad.
It is. I don't like it.
It has failed the test of time.
There's a sequel coming out.
There's like 4 or 5 planned, isn't there?
Yeah, but James Cameron isn't directing any other ones. He's leaving. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this for the remainder of my life. He stared down his Code Gigax or Codex, whatever that Codex Gigax or whatever it's called, and it was like, oh no, I got to write this for 20 fucking years, and it's got to include the Bible. Maybe I shouldn't.
Listen, it's funny that like Ridley Scott is in his like, I'm going to die and I'm going to face whatever's after death. And I'm going to make movies about me wrestling with that. And James Cameron's like, what if I did a big ol' racism?
Beautiful.
What if the Native Americans had a white person to help them fight?
Yeah. Well, he's got to look native, or they won't trust him. No interracial dating allowed.
I am genuinely shocked he didn't like
that movie is about how you can be transracial, which I think sucks.
I'm shocked he didn't have like the feather plume.
Oh no! Well, I mean, yeah, right. Well, okay. So, Aliens was the reason I started talking shit. Titanic. First off, have you seen Titanic?
No.
Great action movie, terrible movie. But Aliens, great action movie, terrible movie. I don't like James. What? What's this face?
I thought Aliens was Ridley Scott.
No, Alien is Ridley Scott. Aliens is the sequel.
Oh, wait, you don't like Aliens?
I think it's fine.
It's game over, man.
Great action movie, terrible movie. Okay. Like, as far as like what I would want people to do with Alien if they were making a sequel, not even close. Not even fucking close.
My biggest Alien hot take is I just get annoyed that every single Alien movie has the moment where they think they've killed the alien, but in reality there's still 15 more minutes of movie, so the alien has to come back. And I just kind of wish it would end the first time at least once. Because like the second giant fight against the alien is never as satisfying as the first one.
Well, no, because at that point you've seen the thing, you know what it can do, and there's no real stakes. Because there's what else is there to learn. Humans like to continue to experience a story so long as they continue to learn new information regularly. Right. And whenever a movie like does a backstep to do a big thing, people usually get bored because they fail to learn anything. Like, they stop learning shit. So they're just like, oh, well, why do I give a fuck?
See, an Alien Covenant fixed that. Well,
I agree with you.
They still had the second alien fight, which I was like, eh. But then they had the end scene, which made me, like, incredibly horny for more Alien movies. And then they was like, yeah, and we're done.
And we're done. Fuck you.
It's like, God damn it!
Yeah,
You motherfuckers!
I know. It's very
After that
very
scene,
good.
fuck.
Well, yeah, I think that it's kind of bullshit that the Alien quintilogy or whatever is like yeah. So we got an Alien movie, right? We got 2 Alien movies. Oh shit! Here comes Alien 3, Alien Resurrections. We're back, baby. We got another fucking. And then they're like, well, let's reboot it. Prometheus. Well, let's reboot it. Fucking Alien Covenant. Well, let's just kill it dead. But at that point, it's like, it's so many layers of lore deep that I'm just like, I have to understand
Alien
what
Covenant.
the fuck anyone is talking about by the time we've got to a 5th fucking movie.
Why didn't people like Alien Covenant?
Why didn't people
Yeah.
like Alien Covenant? Because it is so lore dense that it is like, okay, so Ridley Scott, can I read a quote to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to
Here.
have to find the
While you're
quote.
pulling this quote up, I had something else that I want to say. So
Yeah.
I mentioned the AMA. Go check out our AMAs we do
Oh, yeah,
on
good
Your
move.
Takes Excrement,
Yes, do that.
the subreddit. But so Kingdom of Heaven is like one of my favorite movies because I'm deranged. We have to watch the director's cut. But
Yeah.
one of the antagonists of the movie is like the Bishop of Jerusalem, and he's an antagonist in the movie and is shown as this like cowardly, two-faced little rat of a
Yeah.
bishop. When in like in reality and history, he bankrupted himself in the church, buying people out of slavery after the after Saladin took Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Like he literally sold everything him and the Church of Jerusalem owned to try to prevent people from being slaves.
Yeah.
And then like just walked back to Rome. Anyway, that's my one gripe with Ridley Scott is he did my boy the Bishop of Jerusalem really fucking dirty.
Well, who's shocked? Now, I have a quote here from Ridley Scott. Now, so you asked me, why did people not like Alien Covenant?
Yes.
The reason people said that they didn't like Alien Covenant is because they felt that Ridley Scott was beginning to lose his mind. And now I feel like taking Alien and making a haunted house movie with a mad scientist was kind of fun and cool. I like it. Generally, I like that movie. I like the moment where David teaches himself how to play the flute and then they kiss.
And then they
that
kiss.
shit's great. Like, that shit makes me wet, dude. But Ridley Scott, yeah, a bunch of people started to be like, is Ridley losing his mind? Because, like, a lot of his choices in this are so odd.
Right.
Odd. Weird choices. Well, and then, and I mean, like, I saw House of Gucci, so I know he's still a genius. So fuck everybody. But here is a quote from Ridley Scott that backs up anybody's theory that Ridley Scott is currently losing his mind. This is a quote from Sir Ridley Scott.
Oh fuck! I forgot. He's a knight.
About Denis Villeneuve and Blade Runner 29.
I love Denis.
He was asked if Deckard from Blade Runner is a replicant, a thing that he has been asked many, many times in his life. And so, but this time, he kind of fucking went off. Like, the first time he was asked, it was probably weird. He's been asked 1,000 times. This is the moment where he loses it. So, he says, if in context of whether or not Blade Runner 2049 will reveal that Harrison Ford's character Deckard was a replicant, he says, "Oh, it was always my theory. It was one or two people who were relevant where I can't remember if the screenwriter agreed with me or not, but I remember someone had said, well, like, isn't it corny?" And I said, listen, I'll be the best fucking judge of that. I'm the director, okay? So, and that, you learn, by then I'm 44, so I'm no fucking chicken. I'm a very experienced director from Commercials and The Duelist and Alien. So I'm able to, I don't know, answer that with confidence at the time and say, like, back off. It's going to be what it's going to be. But Harrison Ford, he was never I don't remember, actually. I think Harrison was going, I don't know about that. But I said, well, you have to be, because Gaff, who leaves a trail of origami everywhere, will leave you a little piece of origami at the end of the movie to say, I've been here. I left her alive. And I can't resist letting you know that what's in your most private thoughts when you get drunk is a fucking unicorn, right? So I love Beavis and Butthead. So what should follow that is, duh. So now it will be revealed in the sequel one way or the other. So is Ridley Scott losing his mind?
Absolutely.
I love that energy.
It's very powerful.
That is scary film director energy.
He's either losing his mind or he's realized that if he just fucking goes nuts to
he
like
goes hard on the track. Everybody will keep watching
hard
him.
on the paint to reporters.
Yeah,
they'll just kind of stop asking him dumb shit if he just rambles.
If he just goes the fuck
off,
off,
lunatic.
Yeah, no, I mean it works. I mean Harrison Ford. Whenever anybody's like, "My dude, do you like Star Wars?" He's like, "Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I'll literally kick your ass."
Remember when someone like gave him their like Millennium Falcon Lego set
and he just kind of
drops
like,
it?
Oh
like,
no, I broke it.
My bad, dude.
I'm so sorry. All right.
Why'd you hand this to me, idiot?
We're supposed to wrap up the podcast now, right? I believe this is the end.
Yes.
Let me look. Yeah, that's the end.
The end of all things.
Yeah, it is. So as we've learned today on the podcast, everything must die, including this episode of the podcast. So thank you for being here. I'm glad that you enjoyed your time with us. If you enjoyed your time with us, if you didn't enjoy your time with us, go fuck yourself.
If you didn't enjoy your time yourself, you see, whenever you get drunk, all right, there's gonna be
a fucking unicorn. Okay, so so shit or gold. Ridley Scott's late career.
Gold.
I go gold too.
Gold. No hesitation.
I like everything Ridley Scott makes post. Well, I didn't. I thought The Last Duel was whatever, but
I like The Last Duel. I just haven't finished it.
Yeah, okay, fair. I mean, I always like what I'm seeing. I just never feel like sometimes I'm in tune with him and sometimes I'm like, I don't know.
I just like looking at Adam Driver, all right?
Yeah, well, and it's fucked up because in later years, he's become like one of my favorite directors, generally. Like in the top echelon of everything. Like he's one of the, he's like married the ideas of like pop culture and genuine introspection in ways that I love. So I love that. Ridley Scott's great. Gold.
Literally, my two favorite, contemporary directors are Ridley Scott and Denis Villeneuve.
Wow, that's a fucking
incredibly fucked up take.
I saw this
from
meme.
over here.
I saw this meme the other day that was like a clown, like a dirty, drunk hobo clown, and then like a clown in a suit. And on the clown, the dirty clown, it said David Lynch's Dune, and it was like the clown with the suit was like Denis Villeneuve's Dune. It's like that. That is
no. But
that is what I would
just
say.
I
really
just rewatched Denis Villeneuve's Dune, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I believe you. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I think I fell asleep.
Probably.
Did I fall asleep watching that? I did.
It's a bit slow.
I don't complain about slow. Honestly, my big thing is I don't have a big boner for sci-fi.
That's fair.
I never have. I don't know how to be like that. How do you be